Noreen and welcome to my kitchen, and today we're going to be making a rhubarb berry cobbler. I was out in the garden this morning and I pulled some fabulous rhubarb right out of my patch, and we had some strawberries in the fridge that were no longer really good for eating out of hand, along with some local blueberries. So I thought we're going to mix these all up together and we're going to make a fabulous rhubarb berry cobbler. So let's go see how we make it. We're going to go over all the ingredients first, and don't worry about writing them down because you can always go print out a copy at Noreen's Kitchen website. No big deal. So to start, I have 4 cups of rhubarb. You can always adjust this to your preference, but I have 4 cups of rhubarb and 4 cups of berries. So I have about 1.5 cups of blueberries and about 3 cups of strawberries. That's just about how many, this is all the berries I had left in the fridge, so I just threw them in here. It ends up being about 4.5 cups, but it's okay. So we're also going to put in the berries. We're going to put a cup of sugar. We're going to put about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. This is actually half of a lemon. I got some really huge organic lemons, and that's how much it was. So we're going to use about 1/4 cup of cornstarch in with the fruit. And then that's everything that goes in the fruit. The cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. You can do 2, it's okay. We're going to make the biscuit topping, which is going to be 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 stick of butter that I have that is cold and cut into cubes, 2 cups of cream or heavy milk. I mean, when I say that, whole milk would be fine. I have about a cup of heavy cream and a cup of milk in here, and you can do that. It just makes a really nice biscuit topping. We're going to add 1/2 cup of sugar to the biscuit topping, along with a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of vanilla, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. So I'm going to kind of move a few things out of the way here, and we'll get started on our fruit filling. Because what we're going to do with that is we're going to cook it on the stove in the vessel that we're going to bake it in. So let me just I'm going to go ahead and put the cornstarch in here. There we go. And the sugar. There we go. And all the rest of this stuff goes over here. And our lemon juice. And I'm going to get a big spoon. And I'm just going to toss all this together.
What's the cornstarch doing?
The cornstarch is going to help take all the juices that cook out of the fruit and make the cobbler filling nice and like a pie filling. It's going to thicken it. It's going to make it, yeah, it's like a binder. But I use organic cornstarch. Alternatively, you can use tapioca starch, whatever you feel. But you have to use a starch of some sort because it needs to absorb the juice and expand, and flour just isn't enough to do that job. So all right, so I'm going to grab I'm going to use my cast iron multi-cooker, and I'm just going to put all this in here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this on the stove, and I'm going to let this cook down until the cornstarch is clear and it's nice and juicy, and then we'll come back and we'll show you what happens next. And I just wanted to show you that I have this over medium-high heat on my stovetop, and if you see down in the bottom here, that's the liquid that's cooking from the combination of the sugar, the cornstarch, and the juices from the fruit. You see how it's still really cloudy and milky looking? We're nowhere near ready yet, but I just wanted you to see that. When it's completely cooked, this will thicken and the milkiness will go away and it will clear up. And this will be like a pie filling. It'll be wonderful. So when that's ready to come off the stove, then we'll go ahead and bring you back. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and make the biscuit topping while this is cooking. Alright, next thing we're going to do is make our biscuit topping, and we have the 3 cups of sugar in the bowl, and there goes my 1/2 cup of sugar,
3
cups of flour. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. 3 cups of flour, a half a cup of sugar. There's our tablespoon of baking powder. And I think I misspoke at the beginning. That's not a teaspoon, but a half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to grab a fork and give this a bit of a stir. And this is my hold bowl, or my handle bowl that we reviewed that I really do like a lot. And then we're going to toss in our butter. Just like that. And we're going to start in with the pastry cutter. And you can, if you like to do the frozen butter on the cheese grater, you can go ahead and do that too. I prefer this way because I like getting my hands into everything, and I like the way the pastry cutter cuts the flour and the butter together. You want to cut this together until it looks like coarse meal or small peas or any number of things that people use to describe what it should look like when you have a proper mix for a biscuit base. So we're almost there now. It doesn't take long. Okay, that's where we want it to look, just like that. And it kind of sticks together a little bit. That's exactly how we want it to look. There's some bigger pebble-looking pieces of butter and smaller pieces. It's just perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to take my vanilla and mix it into my milk and cream. Use that fork again. And now we're just going to put this right in there. I'm going to hold back about a half a cup. And I'm going to start stirring it with my fork. Now this isn't going to be like the type of biscuit that you would roll out and cut. This is going to be like a traditional drop biscuit. So we're going to scoop this out. I'm going to add the rest of my cream and milk mixture. It's absorbing into the flour really well. Perfect. Okay, now all we have to do is wait for our berry mixture to be finished on the stove, and then we'll come back and we will scoop this out on top and we'll throw it in the oven. Okay, our berry mixture is all ready, and I wanted to say, if your fruit feels like it's not juicing up as much as you'd like it to, go ahead and add a quarter to a half a cup of water and then cook it till it's clear and thick. I actually did add about a half a cup of water in here while it was cooking because it wasn't juicing up like I prefer. So sometimes you're going to have to do that. It just depends on your fruit. I thought it might be juicy enough because my strawberries are really super ripe, so it just didn't. So it's ready, and now we're going to go, I'm going to get the biscuit topping, we're going to put it on, and then we're going to pop this right in the oven. We'll be right back. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm just going to use my scoop here. You can just spoon it on top if you like, and I'm going to cover the top of this with our little biscuit topping. And this is really like a cream biscuit that you would use for like shortcakes, or if you're from England, a cream tea, if you know what those are. So I'll go ahead and finish this up, and I'll bring it back before we put it in the oven. And the only other thing I'm going to do is I am going to sprinkle this with a little sugar on the top. Just a little. Like maybe a tablespoon, if, you know, you do what you like. I use 2 large 3-finger pinches, so we'll go from there. Alright, now we've our oven preheated at 350 degrees, and we're just going to put this right on in there. Don't put your handle cover in there because it will burn. So we're going to bake this between 45 minutes and an hour, and we'll come back when it's time to take it out so you can see what it looks like. Okay, our cobbler is done and it is ready to come out. And you will see that about halfway through the cooking, I went ahead and put a pan under it because now I have drippy berry stuff on my pizza stone, but that's okay because it's easy to clean off of that. And I might add, my kitchen does not smell like burnt sugar because it hit the pizza stone instead of hitting the element on the bottom of the stove. So if you don't have a pizza stone, that's another good reason to have one.
But the one I might put a pan under it first.
But yeah, I went ahead and I put a pan under it because I didn't want it dripping anymore. So that's out of the oven. It needs to cool completely. And then you can eat it when it's nice and warm. It's nice and bubbly. And the top is perfect.
Looks great.
Yeah, it really does. So we'll bring you back when it's time to serve up some of this delicious rhubarb and berry cobbler. Okay, it is after supper and we're ready. Our cobbler's nice and cooled off and we're going to have it for dessert. You can see we did a little quality control there. And it is fantastic. Look at it. Super delicious. Really pretty. And this little biscuit top is absolutely beautiful. So, I highly recommend it. And as a bonus, the stuff that like cooked over the side, I did wash it off, but look, I know it's kind of weird, but it's like a little bitty fruit roll up there. It's yummy. A little chewy, a little tangy. So, all you need is a scoop of vanilla ice cream, or when I was a kid, when my mom would make cobbler, she'd serve it in a little bowl, and she'd pour a little cream over the top of it, and that was always yummy too. So, that's how you make delicious cast iron berry and rhubarb cobbler. I hope you give it a try, and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. I hope you liked what you watched today, and I hope that you try it, and I hope that you love it. If you like what you saw, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and giving me a positive rating. And also, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you're already not a subscriber, so that you don't miss out on any of the fun we have here in our kitchen every single day. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to come by tomorrow. Until next time, happy eating!